extra, extra. Listen all about it. Welcome back to The Highway with Kyle Shutt. I am Kyle Shutt, and do I have a treat for y'all this week? We got Mr. Balch from Fu Manchu on. Yeah. Bob is one of the sickest guitar players around. He's in so many bands. He's also a fellow Reverend guitar player. That's right. Go to reverendguitars.com, check out his signature guitar, and then check out mine while you're at it. See what I did there? As always, if you like what you hear on the program, ring that little bell, tickle that little bird. You do whatever you gotta do to make sure you don't miss an episode. If you want to go one step further and help me keep these lights on, you can find us at patreon.com/thehighway. For a few bucks a month, you can get early access to next week's episode. You can get a monthly guitar lesson from me over Skype or Zoom or whatever the hell it is you like to learn guitar over from people like me. You can get a couple of Kyle Shutt t-shirts if you want to wear me home. You can even help me put a 6-pack of beer in the fridge. Every single one of y'all really makes the difference, and I sincerely appreciate you. We also got to give some mad love to Heil Sound, our beautiful sponsors, because if you like the way I sound, it's because there's a Heil in front of me. Now, I could keep talking about how cool the internet is all day, but I'd rather talk about the fucking Foo. Let's do it my way, baby.
The Highway.
What's up, dude?
Hey, Bob, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing well, having some coffee. It was a late night.
Right on. Yeah, mine was a little bit late too, but I'm doing all right. I'm all caffeinated.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I didn't know where to start. You're like the busiest man in rock and roll between, Fu Manchu, Big Scenic Nowhere, Sun and Sail Club, playthisriff.com. I mean, like, it just, I guess it's like a sign of the times these days. You gotta have all 4 burns going if you want to, make a splash.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of helped me get through COVID a little bit to keep my mind occupied. That was good to have stuff to dig into at all times. Yeah, I was running around like crazy this morning to get ready for that. I just got everything together like 30 seconds ago. I was like, oh shit, I did it.
I usually, I give myself about a minute of like, like we were gonna call it 11. I was like at 10:59. I'll fire up the computer. I'm
usually like way on top of stuff, but like today I've just been running around like crazy already. But I'm good now. Yeah, things are melting out.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I love talking about, just like how people got into playing their instrument and just kind of what made them like the moment in their life that made them want to get in the van and just tell the world goodbye. But with you specifically, you joined Fu Manchu at a really young age, and it was whenever me and JD started playing in the Sword, I was 20 years old, but I think you were 19, right, when you started playing with Fu Manchu?
Yeah, I was 1997. I was 19. I'd only been playing guitar for like 6 years, which totally trips me out.
You were way better at 19 than I was at like 29, I think.
I don't know about that, dude. I'm not sure about that, but just growing up with like how old are you right now?
38 right now.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be 44 in September, but I mean it's around the same thing. Like growing up in the 80s, like with bands like Maiden and Judas Priest and Slayer and stuff, it was like you really had to know how to play your instrument, And so that was the goal. I'm like, I got to learn these Maiden solos apparently if I want to know how to play the guitar. And then I found like punk rock, and I'm like, I don't have to really do any of that shit. But
yeah, that was kind of like the time when I was coming up was when grunge was huge and like guitar solos were not cool, and it really didn't do me any favors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that like? I mean, hitting the road before you're old enough to drink can kind of put a damper on the good times sometimes. But
it wasn't even a factor. Like I was kind of concerned about that when I first joined. I was like, are you guys sure you want me? Because I don't even know if I can play in these clubs. I don't even know if I can get in. But looking back, it's pretty like crazy. Nobody carded me. So for 19 for like 2 years, I just toured America and the States and just hung out in bars. It was quite remarkable. And then I turned 21 on stage at CBGBs.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm playing with it was supposed to be Queens of the Stone Age first gig. I got the poster still. It's pretty rad. It was a gnarly lineup. It was us, Queens of the Stone Age, Monster Magnet, Unsane, Bark Market, and Today's the Day.
God damn.
I know. It's pretty fucking gnarly. For CBGBs, too. It was 1997. Yeah, September 6th, and I turned 21 there, and I pretty much let everybody know it that evening.
Damn, that's hilarious, dude. Man, I loved playing there. We only got to play there one time, and it was, it's like such a, legendary venue that when you pull in there, you're like, God, this place is a fucking dump. But,
totally.
But it was like the whole place was made out of it was all wood, like walls, floors, ceiling, everything, and it was all like from all the blood and spit and.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine the amount of shit that's in there. Like, I use the bathroom, which is crazy. I think I actually dropped a deuce there.
That downstairs bathroom, like backstage.
It's like right from what I remember. It's like right behind the stage.
Yeah, it's such a nasty toilet because you have to walk down to it and then back up to it, so anybody walking down can totally see over the door.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Casbah is kind of like that too, where there's no doors and shit But I since then I've experienced many a strange toilet. So that's kind of that's a mark of how long you've been in the industry. Like how many times have you shat at a gas station? Probably quite a bit, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and it's like when you start recognizing the gas stations, over the years, you're like, oh man, this one again. Yeah. Yeah,
especially up the West Coast. There's a couple in Northern California that I totally frequent. And I know about. I'm like, should I really be this aware of which Denny's has the best fucking veggie burger? It just touring's a trip, man.
I know. I do miss it. We haven't hit the road in 3 years, and we're about to head out in September. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, you guys are going out with Primus, right?
Yeah, doing the Rush tribute.
It's
gonna be crazy. Wild. I don't know. This is a rumor. This is a total rumor. I might have made it up, but I know Primus is friends with Rush and everything, and I heard somewhere down the line that they're trying to get the gear from the Farewell to Kings tour.
Oh wow!
To play with that, I don't know. I might have made that up, but we'll see how it goes. But I wasn't gonna get to this later, but since we're talking about Rush, man, what was that like getting Alex Lifeson to guest solo on y'all?
That was crazy. Our manager is friends with their manager, and he's like, what are your bands doing? And our manager's like, well, Fu Manchu's doing a song that takes up the entire side, kind of like you guys a little bit, and maybe you guys would be interested in contributing. And Rush's manager's like, yeah, we'll get back to you. And we didn't really think anything of it. And then originally I think it's a girl anyway, but she was like, yeah, Getty and Alex are down to do it. And we're like, holy shit,
damn.
That's that's crazy. That's not even a Fu Manchu record anymore. I don't even know what that is,
I didn't know Getty was on it too.
He's not. No.
Okay,
Eventually he was like, Getty doesn't have time, but Alex is down to do it. So we had this really long song, and I had to email Alex and be like, excuse me, Alex Lyson, can you solo in the key of C sharp at the 13-minute mark? I believe it's a Lydian mode. And it was just fucking, I had to preface the email with hey dude, I feel like an asshole even doing any of this. Thank you thank you so much for being part of our record, but could you possibly do this, and this? And then, and he sent us tracks and didn't do any of the things that I had mentioned, which is totally fine. He just did his own thing, and then around him, we kind of reconstructed the middle of the song.
Wow!
And made him a focal point. And I got stuff that he sent that we didn't use. He sent a lot of stuff. He sent like 9 different ideas, and I pulled them all up at once. And I wasn't in the best condition to be listening to things, but I was like, dude, it's like Coltrane meets Greg Ginn. It's fucking crazy. And then the next day I listened to it and I was like, oh no, these are all separate ideas. That's okay.
Oh wow. Oh yeah. I kind of want to hear that now.
I know, you hear all of them at once. It was weird. I was like, dude, he's like a mad scientist. And then I woke up the next day and I'm like, let's think this through.
I am an idiot.
Yeah, there's a reason why this is idea number one. But yeah, that was fucking crazy. I still trip out on that. I forget about it and then I remember and I go, holy shit.
God damn, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But they're the one, or there's a couple of bands that I never got to see. It was always just we were always on tour when they were, and just always cross paths and everything. Did you ever get to see Rush?
We saw them in Montreal. We were on tour, and they were playing, a couple miles from where we were playing. And so we did sound check, and 3 of us hopped in a cab and fucking hauled ass over there and caught, the first like 8 or 9 songs.
Oh man.
But yeah, they opened with Tom Sawyer, and I was like, okay, I'm just fucking stoked we did this. And so yeah, it was rad. And then hauled ass back to the club, and like with usual, a minute to spare kind of situation, just jumped on stage. But yeah, that was good to see him in Canada. That was a trip. And that dude in front of us had like a stonerrock.com shirt. I don't know if you remember that website.
Yeah, dude, that site was great.
Yeah, it was really cool. I wondered what the fuck happened to it. And
they got like hacked into oblivion. I think like there were some trolls out there early in the internet days that were just like, I guess HTML pages are really easy to hack, and they just kept getting ruthlessly fucked with. I don't know why, but they eventually. Yeah,
it's a pretty big void that got. A site like that I would assume would do really well. But yeah, the people in front of us had that shirt on, and they eventually turned around and they're like, "Are you guys? We're gonna go see you guys. What the fuck are you doing here at Rush?" That was pretty
That's
cool.
cool that you got some bleed over there, because there's nothing like pulling up to a city and you're playing your show and you feel good about it, and then you find out that Slayer's playing down the block and you're like, oh god damn it. Like, well, their tickets are going to be crazy expensive. People will come down here to see us, and they're like, no, lawn tickets for Slayer are like $10. I was like, god damn it.
Yeah, we've always had. We probably crossed paths with you guys in the same city and been like, we're like, fuck, really? That's
maybe. Well, I apologize.
The Melvins for sure. Like we've had
really?
that with the Melvins. Yeah, the Melvins tore their asses off. So there's been multiple times where like I think the Melvins are playing tonight in like multiple cities, but it's good. We're all one big family.
When you call your agent up, you're like, you couldn't have like gotten us on this tour. Or
I know, right? I would love to tour with the Melvins. We were supposed to play a show with them in Europe in 2020, and obviously none of that shit happened. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I'd be stoked.
Absolutely, man. I talked to Buzz on the program too for a little while, and he was that guy is a trip, man. It was a real sweetheart, honestly. He was a lot more talkative than I thought he would be.
I gotta check that out. I saw that you had interviewed him, and I want to hear that. That sounds interesting.
Sweet guy, love that band. They're one of my favorites.
Yep.
But now that the world is opening back up, I'm kind of tired of saying that. It's but yeah, everybody's hitting the road at the same fucking time. It's like total madness out there, and it just seems like every single show has just been going bonkers. Are you guys gearing up to hit the road?
Yeah, we just moved all of our shit to 2022, so we have obligations there that don't really start for a while. So yeah, we're not, but I'm actually gonna, after this interview, head up to Orange County and we start riding again. So
nice.
Yeah, we'll be riding for until we go out on the road. But I don't think we leave until like April or something, or March of next year. Which I see you guys are coming to San Diego, right? Pretty soon.
We are. Yeah, it was we had to wait to announce it until last week, but we've been planning it for a little while. But yeah, it's brick by brick. Haven't played there in a while. Really excited.
Yeah, shit. I'm thinking about making it down there. You guys are playing with ASG too, right?
It's ASG and Sasquatch.
Oh, right.
And another one I can't remember right now. I'm sorry, other band. Death Chant. Yeah, I think it's Death Chant.
Right on.
But yeah, just Evan from Psycho Vegas. He's just putting on like some crazy bills lately, because that's going to be our first show back in 3 years, and I think our stage is like The Sword, Ty Segall, and Jizza. It's going to be wild. Wow.
For Psycho Fest?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun one. You guys played that before?
We've not. No, first time ever. Really excited.
Yeah, we played there like a few, I don't know, like 5 years ago, but we played there twice. And the one time we played there, I regret this. Like Blue Oyster Cult was playing and Alice Cooper.
Damn.
And fucking, my kid was like 2. So I was like juggling this, like, do I just go back to this really nice hotel room that they paid for and just fucking drink wine and watch Get a Life with Chris Elliott for like 6 hours? Or do I go and rock the fuck out? And like, I was so burnt from having a kid. I mean, my wife had the kid, obviously. It's like, I was like, the silence was so valuable to me that I was like,
and just sleep.
Yeah. Like our bass player caught me in the fucking downstairs lobby buying a bottle of wine. He's like, what are you doing? Like, I'll meet you guys there. I swear I'll be there. And then I just went up and fucking, I regret it now, because I think Reader got to hang out with BOC and yeah, that would have been pretty rad to witness. But it's a fun festival. It's good.
Man, BOC was rad. We the Sword played with them in Houston a few years ago, and there's only 2 original members left, but it so happens to be the 2 singers. So it was, for all intents, it was an incredible show and like a great lineup of musicians they had, like playing all those songs. They played every song you'd want to hear. It was so killer.
Yeah, I mean, they came out with a record in 2020 that I was like, oh, like them and AC/DC, I was like, good. Like, I need some kind of normalcy to check shit out.
It was good. Did you listen to it?
Yeah. I mean, both of them, I was like, fuck, rad. I'm doing it. It seems kind of normal now that hearing AC/DC and BOC just was cool.
Oh man, but you didn't Big Scenic Nowhere just had a record come out, right?
Well, we had an EP come out. We had 2 records come out in 2020. A full length and then an EP towards the end. And today I've just been running around, like Tony Reed's mixing the latest LP right now. So I've been like scrambling and sending him tracks this morning. Like we got the guitar player from The Cure and David Bowie on like this epic fucking 18-minute jam. And
Reeves Gabrels. He's also a fellow Reverend guitar player.
As are you. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ken with the assist on that one. I was just sitting around one day and I'm like, you know what? I bet Reeves would be down if we can get a hold of him. We'll see. And
I heard he's a real sweet guy.
He's cool. Yeah, he's funny as shit. We've been emailing back and forth, and it's kind of dangerous because I'll be like, dude, that wah you used is crazy. What did you use on that track? And he'll just send you, instead of telling you, he just sends you like the reverb link to get it. And I'm like, shit. So he's been sending me links, and I'm like, I have to get it. Like, I got to get that shit now, just for the story alone. It's pretty cool. But yeah, he rips. He fucking rips. And he was doing really cool stuff throughout the whole track where, because he's got that resonator pickup.
Uh-huh.
So there's like this really trippy, like ambient sustain that kind of floats in and out of the track. Like it's killer. I think people are going to be really stoked.
Apparently, like whenever he joined The Cure, he was kind of playing it safe a little bit, because The Cure, they're like honestly probably the best pop band of the last like 40 years.
Yeah, I mean songs for
hooks
dude,
on hooks on, like the bass line is a hook and the keyboard part is a hook and the guitar part is a hook and then the chorus is just Hook City, But then so he was kind of playing it safe, and one day Robert called him over and was like, "Hey, it's like, Reeves, aren't you known for like the Widdly Widdlies?" He's like, "Yeah," he's like, "You think you could do more of that?" In the song. So I haven't seen The Cure with him in it, but I would be really excited to check him out, to see his guitar just flourishes, how they fit into that band and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
Have you ever seen The Cure? I never have. That's another one.
No, I've never seen him either. But yeah, I'd be curious to check it out. Like,
one of my favorite bands. I don't know why I've never really caught them, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really recall them ever like coming to San Diego. Like, I mean, I'm sure they have. I'm positive they have, but I don't really recall them coming here. But yeah, I mean, the fucking songs, it's crazy. Like, you go through their catalog and you're like, oh, all this shit, all of it. It's really good. So yeah, we're really stoked to have him involved. Like, it's crazy to even think that actually happened.
I love, like, one of my favorite parts about playing music for a living, or just maybe in spite of a living, is that, just the more you go down that path, like the more, like, just you keep putting one foot in front of the other and you just don't stop for any reason. You find yourself in like the craziest positions that you would never have been in otherwise,
totally.
Like that, is there any like kind of, just, I mean, I know we just talked about two guitar heroes playing on your records, but is there any other kind of like moments where you were just like, I can't believe they let me in here right now and I'm standing here?
Yeah, there's one that totally comes to mind. Like one of my favorite bands is Devo, and we covered Freedom of Choice, and we were playing at the Whiskey at the end of our tour on King of the Road, and our manager's like, Devo's like headquarters, they called their headquarters like a studio is down the street. He's like, you guys want to go take a tour of it?
Damn.
And I was like, fucking yeah. And we went over there, and Mark came out, and we're hanging out with Mark. And I was like, I've met a lot of pretty big name dudes and kind of kept my cool. Like I couldn't. I was like almost fainting. Like I was like a girl like seeing the Beatles back in the day. Like I almost started pissing, and I was just like, holy shit, we're in here. And I was twirling my glasses around nervously, and they just fucking flew across the room and like broke right in front of him. And he's looking at me all weird. And he's like, you guys want to take the tour? And just cruised us around this like circular building of studio to studio. And they were doing soundtrack shit for like Dawson's Creek and like all these like TV shows and all the weird fucking gear that's in there. And then like they have a basement where they keep all their masters, and I held Whip It in my hands, and I was just like, this is fucking crazy. I can't believe that, you know, and I was just like silent and pale and just like, oh fuck, like this is gnarly. So yeah, that one especially, I'm like, I have no business being anywhere near this dude, but I'm a huge fan, and that was a big one.
That's wild, man. Was that one of the bands that like made you want to play music?
No, I was a latecomer to Devo, because I mean, growing up in the 80s, like, you know, Whip It and everything, that was cool, but you know, my head was into like thrash metal and punk and hard rock and shit, you know. And then, you know, I was learning that shit, and then I saw a jazz guitar player, and I was like, I don't know anything that guy's doing. That's fucking crazy. So I went down that path for a while, and then Devo arrived, and I was like, oh, this is not like Whip It at all. I mean, I love that album, but like the earlier shit, I heard the Hardcore Volume 1 and 2, and I was like, this is fucking crazy.
That stuff's wild.
Yeah, and I was like,
know that like before the Army Not Men, yeah, they had like 4 albums before that.
Yeah.
They're just bizarre.
Yeah, way ahead of their time, and just the lyrical content and the riffs and everything. I was like, so you can do this? Like, it kind of opened my eyes. Like, oh, you can be like oddball and fucking, but like be more creative than other people. That shit opened up my eyes a lot. So
that's cool, man. When I was younger, it was I grew up in a real small town, and it was you know, like Pantera was probably like the heaviest band that you could see on like MTV.
Yeah,
you know, back in those days. And so it wasn't until somebody handed me a Converge CD, and I was just like, whoa, you can do this? Like this, there's just people like they get in vans and drive around, and you don't have to be on the radio, and you can just like be a fucking wild animal. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah, totally, man. Yeah, that was pretty eye opening. When I first heard like early DRI shit, I was like, I remember going to like Tower Records, and I would just buy anything with like a skull on it, you know, as a kid. And I think it was Violent Pacification, but one of their fucking cassettes had like 20 songs on it for like $5.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, this band's like the best, like hardest working band ever. And I bought it, and I was so confused because it was so fast. I thought my tape player was busted. and I was like, well, that's fucking crazy. And then I was like 6th grade, like I was like a little kid, you know. And then I realized, you can get in a van and play this kind of music and just cruise around and live like a dirtbag. It sounded pretty appealing.
Yeah.
Still does. I don't know why.
I'm really excited about it. Again.
Yeah.
Oh my god. For me, it was Melt Banana was always this band that people were like, you got to check out Melt Banana, but they never really told me how they sounded. They were just like, oh, this is the craziest band you'll ever hear. If you like Converge and you like, you know, this and that, check out Melt Banana. And so I finally found a copy of Scratch or Stitch in a record store one day, and I took it home and put it on. I was like, oh Jesus, my record player must be on 45 instead of 33. So I slowed it down, and then I was like, this is still way too fast. What the fuck is going on here? It's like Chipmunks on acid, man. What the hell, dude?
No, that shit speaks to a young kid pretty loudly, you know.
Yeah, going back and listening to it now, it's funny, like after having made like so many records and like, you know, just like been on so many tours, like going back and listening to that stuff like with totally different ears, it's like it's mind blowing in a totally different way.
Oh yeah, it like ages differently. But DRI was a big one for me though. All that old hardcore punk stuff, like it was pretty eye opening to realize that you didn't have to be on like a big fucking, you know, MTV situation and have like giant tours and shit that you could just go do stuff, and they're on an underground level. So
it is cool when you do that though, when you find go on tour with those MTV bands, because I mean y'all toured with like so many of those bands, like I mean Monster Magnet for sure, but you know, didn't you tour with like Manson and like White Zombie and that kind of whole scene? No,
I think we played a show with them, but Jay Younger from White Zombie produced the Action Is Go, but we never played shows with them. But I mean, we toured with Motorhead. That was pretty fucking amazing.
God,
that was really cool. And Anthrax, that was pretty funny. You got with those dudes. I mean, they're rad, but their audience was like tripping on us. I think like, what the fuck, like it's like Sabbathy, you know. But yeah, those were pretty big tours. Those were rad. The Motorhead one was fucking crazy. Yeah, Mickey, like the drummer fell and broke his arm on that tour, and like fell down some stairs. in the middle of the tour, and we were like, oh fuck, all right, we better figure out a way home and maybe book some shows on the way home. And then he was there the next day, and still did his drum solo and still fucking did everything. And yeah, they didn't stop. Like, it was fucking crazy.
I only played with them one time, but yeah, it was fucking killer. It was the night before they debuted the Lemmy movie at South by, and yeah, it was just the Sword and Motorhead at Stubbs. I was just like, yes, can I get a copy of that poster, please?
Yeah, like we toured them for a while, and like I'd see Lemmy walking around, and I'd never really be like, hey, I'm a big fan, and thanks for having us out. I just kind of was like, leave the dude alone. And one night, I'd probably a few too, and we had a great show. Motorhead's playing, and I'm on the side of the stage just watching them by myself. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. And then they stop, and Lemmy walks over to like during the drum solo, and he's just kind of standing next to me, and I'm like, dude, this is my chance to say something, And I'm like, hey, dude. You guys are kicking ass tonight. And he's like, without skipping a beat, he's like, we do that every night. Totally schooled me.
Man,
but then, and then my friends are like, remember you introduced us to him? And I was like, I don't remember that at all. So apparently we had other encounters, but yeah, he was really cool, I guess.
I never really got to talk to him. The one night that I thought for sure I was going to, we were out with Metallica, and it was 2 nights at the O2 in London.
Oh, wow.
And one of those nights, Lemmy was supposed to come out. I think they were going to play Overkill or some. I don't remember exactly what they were going to play, but I think it was during the filming of the Lemmy movie, and so like, it was kind of, that was the rumor, he was going to be there, and a crew showed up with his amp, and all of his gear, and they loaded it onto the stage, and then the film crew was there, like filming the whole thing. His dressing room was right next to ours. Like they, just said Lemmy. The bottle of Jack in there, everything was ready to go, and he never showed up.
Oh, crazy.
And I was like, wow, like of all the people to like stand up Metallica, like it's fucking Lemmy gets a free pass.
yeah, he's especially with those dudes too. I mean, we all kind of grew up listening to Motorhead, but we gotta he could do whatever the fuck he wants. It's fine.
Yeah, for real.
It's totally fine. Yeah, you guys toured with Metallica. That's crazy. You guys were out with them for like a year or something.
It was like over 100 shows. I mean, it wasn't like a year straight, but it was like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off for about a year.
Fucking awesome.
It was wild. From freaking to Perth to Istanbul and pretty much everywhere in between. It was nuts.
Wow. Yeah, that. Fuck, dude. Like that's like the pinnacle right there.
It was.
I mean, if you would have told yourself like as a teenager, like, hey, dude, keep playing, you're gonna open for Metallica for like a year, you'd be like, what?
It was wild. Right. I mean, that was one of those moments where it was just like, it was too crazy to think about at the time. It was just like go. It wasn't until like years later when I finally had time to digest it all. I was like, good Lord, what just happened?
Like 20 years later, you're like finally decompressing, like, holy shit.
Yeah, but their festival was rad. Didn't you guys play it when it was in Detroit?
Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah, we did Orion Fest, and our manager's like, so James Hetfield wants to introduce you guys, and we were like, holy shit, that's fucking crazy. And so we're sitting there getting ready to go on, and you see him driving up in a golf cart, and we're like, fuck, there he is, it's gonna happen, And then the golf cart kept going, and then it passed us, and then it just kind of disappeared in the off the horizon, and I'm like, okay, whatever, let's just go to the stage, it's fine. But they did the stage that we played, and then there was another band I forgot, and then after them was Metallica, but it was like they called themselves D-Han or something. And it was like a secret that they were going to do Kill 'Em All from start to finish. So yeah, there's this band D-Han on the list that nobody knows who the fuck they are, and our manager's like, yeah, dude, like stand right here, they're going to be out in like 5 minutes, and they're going to do Kill 'Em All. And so it was just like Fu Manchu in the front row, like the four of us and our manager, and like maybe another guy laying in the grass, like something. And Metallica comes out, and they just fucking start playing Kill 'Em All from start to finish. And I looked behind me, and there was like 3,000 kids like running to the stage. I was like, holy shit!
People losing their damn minds.
Yeah. I grabbed like 50 of those set lists. For some reason, they had like a bunch of set lists like on stage, and I'm like, I'm taking those. That's right. But yeah, that was cool.
It was a shame that festival tanked, but I heard it was just like a financial nightmare, and I know why, because most festivals, the band, you get like a little case of beer, and like you're lucky if you have a dressing room for a block of like 4 hours, in the day or whatever like that, you know, and there's not too many amenities backstage, but Metallica threw down for the artists. Like there was an open bar at 10 a.m., you know, and then fucking everybody got their own air conditioned trailer. I mean, like I said, they're some of the most generous people in showbiz, man. They pulled out all the stops for the bands to the point where they were like, we just can't afford to do this anymore.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, fuck, I'll go there without an open bar and play again.
I know, right? Because it's not like there was a lack of people there. It was just, you know, I don't know, just running a festival is not as easy as it sounds.
No, but I mean, I got to watch Off, which was rad. Or no, I'm sorry, I love Off, not Off. Flag.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which was fucking killer. To like on the side of the stage to watch those guys, I was like, damn, dude. I'll stand next to Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies, like watching Keith Morris sing, and I was like, this is weird.
That's really funny. We saw Arctic Monkeys play, and I wasn't necessarily a fan, but I was like, oh, I'll check it out for a minute, you know. And like, dude, they were fucking incredible. I was shocked, like there was like how heavy they were.
Oh wow!
They're like I can't remember who said it. Might have been JD or maybe even Lars or somebody. They were just like they're like a metal band, but like disguised as an indie punk band, you know, or whatever. Like I could see that. Also, their girlfriends were fucking hot.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine Arctic Monkeys. Those guys are pretty huge. But yeah, I teach that shit all the time to people.
Really?
And it's fucking, there's riffs all over the place. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so how'd you end up starting to playthisriff.com? Because I've been a guest on it many times. Thank
you
for
have,
having
yeah.
me, but it is a really rad idea, and it just seems super appealing to people that really want to know how to play songs. Because a lot of bands like at our level, you know, like we don't really have tab books necessarily, and so you're just kind of like relying on, you know, rando internet people to just. I've seen so many just butchered tabs out there. So kudos to you for doing that. But yeah, how'd that come about?
I was like afraid of computers because mine sucked so bad, you know, in like the 90s. Like I would turn on I don't even know what it was, like a PC. I'd turn it on and I would go surf and I'd come back and it would still be like turning on, you know, and I'd be like, fuck, man, how do people do anything with computers? And then I bought a Mac and it was just really easy to navigate and fucking, like the camera was on there and I'm like, oh, I'd never seen what my hands looked like playing. And I was like, oh, it's weird. What a trip what that looks like. And I was like, fuck, I wonder if I could. I was gonna do like Fu Manchu lessons and just kind of sell them on iTunes, and just to be like, oh, here's how you play it, $1 or whatever. And then I was like, well, people could share them and stuff, and I should probably put that shit behind like a firewall or something. So I bought this website, it's like turnkey thing, and I was gonna do Fu stuff only, and then I was like, well, shit, I could maybe get guests to kind of help promote it. And the first one I reached out to, I just looked in the paper, it was coming to town, and it was Exodus. And the bass player of Exodus was like, yeah, I'll do it. And their tour manager was actually like a fan of Fu Manchu. He ended up tour managing us for years and drove our van. I was like, what the fuck? That was weird. But yeah, so Exodus. Then I was like, well, shit, if Exodus will do it, I wonder if other people will. And it just, you know, whenever people come to town, I would just reach out and see if they'd be into it. And it's been fucking killer. Like being able to sit in front of all you guys and watch how these riffs are played it's been like an honor for me. It's fucking awesome. And I've learned a shit ton too. Like, just like, oh, I never would have thought to go do that or that. So it's been fun, man. That's right. How long have you been doing it now? It's like at least 10 years. It's been a long time. Yeah. I think that I bought the site, in 2008 or 2009, but I was still getting content because I didn't want to have a launch and be like, I got 10 videos, come check it out. So I think when I launched it, there was like maybe 20 bands, and now there's like over 70. But yeah, it's been a long time. And I go in and dig through the older stuff and try to like touch it up and put it up there again, and it's like remastering it or whatever. Cool. It's kind of a trip for me, like doing them because, you know, just like you have us like play the riff as it goes like 2 or 3 times or whatever, get a good take, and then it's like, okay, now slow it down. And that's when I'm like, oh wait, what? And muscle memory gets all fucked up, and I was like, wait, how do you do it? Oh shit. Yeah, no, I've never been, aside from filming it for myself and being the only one in the room, I've never been on, actually that's not true. I have been on the other side of that camera. I did an interview like that for King of the Road a long time ago in New York. And yeah, I remember being pretty uncomfortable. Like the fucking lights turn on, and it was when we were touring with Anthrax, and you got like 3 members of Anthrax standing there watching you get interviewed, playing your own shit. And it's just like, fuck, this is pretty awkward. But yeah, everyone on there has been really cool, and yeah, it's been fucking killer. And it's opened up so many avenues for like all the Big Scenic Nowhere shit as people that are on there, basically. So rad. Didn't you get Ben Kramer to do one? Yeah, he did one, and I drove up there and we hung out, and fucking by the end of the day we were hugging and shit. And, like we're all like a group hug with him and his wife, and we jammed. We jammed for like an hour.
Wow.
And I played the like the guitar, the American flag guitar, while he played bass. I have the video. I'll throw it up on Instagram. It's crazy. Like we got done with the shoot, and I was just kind of wrapping stuff up, and then I was like, oh dude, can I please just try your guitar for like a second? And he's like, totally. And so kick out the jams. I'm just jamming that thing, and he's over on his computer programming a drum beat, and then he grabs a bass off the wall, and we just started jamming, and it was fucking killer. It was really fun. I had him hooting and shit. He's all woo, yeah. Yeah, I was God. Like, I like didn't sleep for like 3 days. I would just I'd lay in bed, be like, dude, I just fucking jammed with Wayne Kramer for. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. He's really cool, and his wife's super cool, and yeah, he was really inviting, and just it was fun, man.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, you never know where you're gonna end up if you just keep doing this shit. Who is there like a dream? Not client. What's the word? A dream guest you'd have?
I mean, for me, there's a ton. You know, I've been trying to reach out to. I really want to hear some of the Fugazi shit. Because cool. I think that stuff is really unique and strange, and nobody's really fucking around like trying to figure it out. But like, I want to hear it. Like the way that Ian plays is really strange, and I don't know. I mean, there's the list that would go on and on. But yeah, fuck, I don't even know, man. That's a good question. Even any of the bands that we mentioned growing up listening to, I would be stoked to have on there. But anything that I would personally have trouble like deciphering would be pretty fucking cool.
I get really into like Pete Anderson, who is also another Reverend guy. He would be one that I would love to see, because that's all that kind of chicken picking kind of country stuff is like kind of makes my brain fold in half. It's just, I don't know, it's just not how I play, and I usually end up listening to things that I don't do. You know, people are like, you know, like, oh man, you probably just sit around listening to Metallica and Black Sabbath all day. It's like, well, you know, 20 years ago, yeah. But you know, these days I love listening to like stuff like Wes Montgomery or anything totally. Pete Anderson does, just to kind of like sort of just turn my own brain upside down and just like think about playing the guitar from a different angle. That would be a good one that I would love to see.
I'll check that out. We got Reverend Horton Heat on there.
Oh wow.
He does that shit, and John 5 too does a lot of that chicken picking stuff. He's on there. Now, the John 5, he's cool.
I was just saying, he's a wild ass guitar player, man.
Yeah, no, he's great. He fucking invited me to his house, and he didn't even know who the fuck I was, and I interviewed him for the day, and it was really fun. Yeah, he's cool as shit.
That's right. But I think it was I think he was playing with Rob Zombie at this festival that we saw, and you know, I've known him from like the Manson days and stuff like that. I didn't know that he played guitar like that. He did this like insane like 5-minute guitar solo. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's all from like growing up watching Hee Haw, and he would watch that shit and just kind of go, oh, that's like crazy guitar playing. But yeah, I mean, I listen to Wes Montgomery all the fucking time too. Like anything that is different than what I do. That shit's rad. You should check out. You ever heard of Johnny Smith?
No.
It's I mean, if you're into Wes Montgomery, it's kind of along those lines. He wrote that song "Walk Don't Run" that the Ventures cover. Okay. It's like old surf rock shit, but he's a jazz guy, and the album's called Walk Don't Run. It's fucking insane. It's like it's so technically like fucking crazy, but at the same time really relaxing. So it's awesome. That was a good one. Yeah, you should check that out.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go listen to that right when we get off the phone. That's rad.
Yeah, just check out Walk Don't Run. You'll hear it and be like, oh, I know that fucking song. Mm-hmm. But the way he plays the guitar like a piano, which is fucking weird. We're like, you know, we're playing one note at a time for like scales and leads and shit. And he's like blending all the notes together. It's really kind of crazy.
That's a tough instrument for me. Like I always say, like I can play keyboards, but like just actually playing the piano, that's rough mostly because just the way that I think about it is like, if you look at your hands, like when you play guitar, like, you know, your left hand, if you're a right-handed guitar player, is your left hand is your lead hand, and your right hand is your rhythm hand. But on a piano, your right hand is your lead hand and your left hand is your rhythm hand. And then if you look at your fingers playing the guitar, like your index finger up to your pinky, you know, you go low to high. But then you flip that around, you know, on a piano, your pinky is the low end, and then they go up to your index finger. So it's like literally like backwards. It's hard for me to like wrap my mind around that. I play keyboard's more like I play drums, I think. Just kind of rhythmically and like, you know, pick out the melody, but yeah.
Yeah, if I can put like stickers on what to hit, I could probably sound okay. But yeah, Johnny Smith's rad because he'll play guitar like a piano, so he makes it sound like he's like playing piano voicings and shit. He's crazy.
That's really
he's
cool.
really good. Yeah, yeah. I'm left-handed. Like
yeah.
I should be like. It trips me out that people's dominant hand is the one that they're strumming with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I should be playing the other way around, and I couldn't get a guitar that's strung that way. So my teacher was like, "I just flip it and do it this way. We'll figure it out later." But yeah, it's a trick to me that people like your dominant hand is strumming, and your non-dominant hand is doing all the fret work. That's weird.
That is weird. I never really thought about it like that. Now I'm just like, now I'm gonna be frozen. The next time I pick up a guitar, I'll be like, "Oh god damn it!" Like, well, I guess I never tried to play left-handed before.
I've got to concentrate.
Well, fuck, man. Whenever I have a musical guest on, I'd love to ask if there's any song of theirs that they'd like to play. Is there like a Big Scenic Nowhere song you want to throw on the end of the show, or
yeah, sure,
or Sun and Sail Club, anything like that? Yeah, anything you want, man.
On Sun and Sail Club, there's a song called Dresden Fireball Freakout. That would be pretty cool.
Man, Bob, I really appreciate you sitting down and talking with us, man. It's fucking y'all are one of my favorites, and just seeing y'all live is so rad. It's like there's very few bands that I've seen where when I'm watching them, I'm like, God, could it get any thicker? You know, like what the actual hell are they doing to those amps and guitars? But yeah, keep doing it.
Even Alan Thicke is envious, dude. He's like, what the fuck? No, yeah, we've fucking been trying to get the low end to be a thing for a long time. Low end's a big focus for Fu Manchu, so that's good. I've never been in the audience for it, so I'm glad you dig it, man.
That's always a trip when you never get to watch your own band.
No, I'd be like, if there's an afterlife and they'd be like, you want to go back and check yourself out? I'm like, I don't know, do I? Like, what if I hate it? What if I watch it and I'm like, fuck, man? No, I'm sure it would be fun. But yeah, thanks for digging it, and thanks for having me on, dude. It's an honor to be part of what you're doing.
Absolutely, anytime. And yeah, we'll be in San Diego soon, so if you want to rip another play this riff, just bring the camera out. We'll
killer,
lock it down, dude.
You guys are here in August, right?
I believe it's August 25th. Yeah.
Okay.
By break, San Diego.
Yeah. I'll be in touch. I think I'm probably around. I don't really have anywhere to go. So.
Right. Yep. Well, thanks again, Bob. It's been a real pleasure, and yeah, I'll see you soon, brother.
All right, dude. Thank you.
All right,
later.
You hit the wall.
much for tuning into The Highway this week. A big shout out to Reverend Guitars, Railhammer Pickups, and Earthquaker Devices. If you liked what you heard, you can follow where you can follow, subscribe where you can subscribe, and if you want to go one step further, you can support us on Patreon at The Highway with Kyle Shutt. For a few bucks a month, you can help us keep this party going, get early access to next week's episode, and even get yourself a shout out.